What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome into the Cover Price Weekly Top 10 for the week ending June 10th, 2025. I got Marty, I got Lando, I got a really good list, and I got DJ Skillspins with his new. Well, I won't even say it. I'll let
Let's
you
go.
guys.
Let's go. Let's do
You're
it.
gonna like this one, Marty. You're gonna like it.
Atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robbery, flee with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. Battle scar, shogun, explosion when my pen hits tremendous. Ultraviolet, shine blind forensics. I inspect view through the future, see millennium. Killer bees sold 50 gold, 60 platinum. Shackling the matches with drastic rap tactics. Graphic displays melt the steel like blacksmith. Black Wu jackets, queen bees, ease the guns in. Rumble with patrolmen, tear gas, lace the function. Heads by the score, take flight inside a war. Chicks hit the floor, die hard bands, demand war. Behold the bold soldier, control the glow slowly. Proceeds the blow, swinging swords like shinobi. Stomp grounds and pound footprints in solid rock. Who got it locked, performing live on your hottest block. Blah, 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 blah,
Damn. Okay, that was perfect. I hadn't heard the
Nope.
full thing yet, so well done, DJ Skillspins.
Man,
What do you think?
Tim would have so loved him because that
would've
is
loved
right up his genre, right up his alley too.
Mm.
And did you see his shirt, Ghetto Boys? How many of you guys remember the Ghetto Boys? I mean, we're going way back there, right?
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
it's all Wu-Tang. You got Floyd on there, so those speak my language.
Oh, that's so good, man.
Love it.
I can see the guys
Awesome
in the
job.
background just kind of like bouncing along with it, and it's like that's always a good sign. All right, so welcome in, guys. As I was saying earlier, this is the weekly top 10. Let's do a quick little round table. What's up, Marty? How's it
Oh,
going?
what is up, Lady Laura and the wonderful, luscious Lando gracing us with his presence as always?
Luscious.
Well, something that's the first thing that just came to
I'll
mind.
take
You know,
it, bro.
was
I'll
the-
take it.
It was the lovely Lady Laura and then the luscious Lando. I mean, and if Gabe was here, I would have probably said the gorgeous Gabe. You know,
That's baby Laura. We had this talk, Laura.
That's
Maybe
baby
we
Laura.
like it.
He
Oh,
does.
yeah.
He does.
Yeah, we can hop on and see if it's like.
All right, I'll be right there. Anyway, Lando, goodbye. I'm parenting while I'm doing. Lando, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's an awesome Tuesday night. If you're catching the replay, I hope it's another beautiful day because, it's been sunny here. It's been hot. Summertime is in full gear. And, dude, I'm just enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. Up in Canada, all the snow we deal with for the whole winter season, gone, out. I don't want to deal with that no more. So, yes,
Yeah.
sun is here. Good times are here. Good vibes are here. And we have an amazing list tonight, especially, I get to hang with Marty. I get to hang with Laura. But the chat, we see you guys. I see you all there. Yeah, Luscious Lando. That's the new nickname, I guess.
Yeah.
Laura's
Luscious
all the time.
Lando. I coined the luscious Lando.
I like it. That fits. Luscious Lando. Marty, what would you?
Sure. I'll take it.
You could be
that-
meaty Marty because you're all like muscular. You could be
Meaty Marty.
Meaty Marty.
Well,
We got
I
Meaty
actually
Marty.
been, yeah.
Meaty Marty.
Whatever.
Marty Oki. Dude, you're on fire.
I'm on fire, man. You coin hashtag whatever you want.
We could do this all
Just-
night. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, oh, wait, we have to go to list.
Just don't call me Shirley.
Okay, guys, let's do this. Let's jump in. Like the guys were saying, it's been a crazy week, but we are here to talk comics with you guys. So thank you for spending your Tuesday with us. This list is brought to you by Cover Price. We are looking at aftermarket sales, units sold, and percentage growth. AKA, you guys make this list, not us. Every week we have a runners up. Almost made it. What do we have, Marty?
Yeah, bringing it in for runner-up is Wolverine number 8. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson. Now, you've seen this before, but this time, this is the second print coming in at a Virgin of 1 in 25 ratio, published by Marvel in June of 2025. When the first print hit shelves, collectors were beside themselves trying to get a copy. Daniel Warren Johnson crushed this book, blending both new and old iterations of Wolverine to deliver an iconic cover. Samurai Wolverine is a prime stuff, and it's an easy way to engage the community by delivering works like this. It went so gangbusters that this first time around, we've got a second print and a Virgin cover at that. This book also delivers the first appearance of Adamantine, essentially sentient adamantium. Wow, mouthful, yes. We
You got it.
know, but hey, it's comics. We tracked 14 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 28% and a high sale of $100 for a CC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $79. So, Lady Laura, how about that for the first read?
That was fantastic. You nailed it. This book kind of irritates me because, like, we talked about this so many times that we knew this was going to happen. We knew it was going to be a second printing ratio,
Yeah.
all the stuff Gabe loves. But you know what sucks about
Oh,
it?
yeah.
I would still buy it. This is badass. I love it. Ugh.
It's a nice cover, and however, it doesn't really have the hair stand out like the red cover does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's nevertheless, nothing against it. It's still a nice cover. But what are we seeing now? We're seeing a second print coming up. And we're already seeing a second print for this selling at $160. So, as I've always said, and I've said this on many other shows in the past as well, if you're into this, don't sit on these second prints and these third prints, get
Marty, look at this
those.
comment. Did you just say
What?
sentient adamantium? Yeah, that was right. Marty nailed
That
it.
was right. Sentient adamantium. Absolutely.
Yep. It's the book that won't go away. That's what it is, guys. So
Yeah.
look, I know some people are tired, probably rolling their eyes, but it is a stunning cover. I think this is now reached a point where the cover alone is worth the price of admission. Again, I hate when Marvel does this, where they go with the second print being a first print cover just used as a virgin. But if there was any cover out of Wolverine 8 that deserved that, it's totally this one, because
Yeah.
Daniel Warren Johnson did an amazing job with this cover, and the read was good. I keep putting emphasis on that every time we talk about it. So I hope people read it by now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you
You-
go. Not a bad way to kick it off, right? What,
Yeah.
Marty?
No, I have nothing at this time. I think Lando actually said a mouthful. No pun intended.
You had the mouthful on that read. I will give it to you. I will give it.
Sentient adamantium. That you nailed it too. And I had my finger on the trigger and I didn't have to do it. Runners up, Wolverine number 8, the second printing, Darren Warren Johnson Virgin variant, 1 in 25, 9.8 at $160. 7-day trend of 28%. All right, luscious Lando. What do we
Oh,
have to
God.
kick off the list?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're power lifting our way to the top 10, guys, because 10 reps ain't nothing for this girl. Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 33, the Torn Clark by Marvel that just came out in May 2025. Powerlift is still a new fan favorite in Miles Morales' book. This villain is strong enough to go toe-to-toe with Miles and the aftermarket, apparently. The book has fluctuated on where it falls on the top 10 list every week, but it is still trending. Powerlift isn't the only first appearance in this book. You got Philomelis, you got Pyra, who's in this book. They also make their first appearance, and this makes this book a solid key issue to track down. Others agree, as we tracked 12 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 9% with a high sale of $25 for a near mint raw copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $20. Keisha Kwan, there you go, Keisha Kwan, ladies and gentlemen, powerlifting her way into the top 10, holding strong. Like I said, 10 reps don't mean anything to her. And yeah, dude, I think it's a cool character so far. Like I'm into it. It's not so bad. I know people are probably like, ugh, another wannabe She-Hulk, or ugh, another Hulk. It's cool, man. It fits with what's happening in the story, man. So I'm cool with this.
So with the story, though, she's not a villain, because I haven't read this, but I remember last week everybody was saying that this is kind of a misleading cover because it makes it seem like she's a villain, but she's not.
We shall see where this ends up, but so far out the gate, it seems to be the case.
All right.
Yeah.
Marty, anything to add?
Well, on a comic book standpoint, a fandom standpoint, I'm sorry, I can see how this really resonates to a lot of younger readers, newer readers, this sort of generation readers, if you will. However, as long as it brings in, people to the collection, the community, more power to you. But as a personal opinion, okay. Not for me.
Not for me. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not for me, but we'll yeah, all good. Number 10, Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 33, Torrin Clark variant, raw near mint, $25. I had 2 Trulies before we went live, and now I'm like, whoo, it's hitting.
Woo!
Raw
is
near
good.
mint, $25.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
9%. It's hot here. Like, there's nothing much to do other than like
Laura,
drink and swim. So
I
Summertime, man.
told you I was way too drunk in my pool Sunday, so I feel
isn't he so cool?
You guys talk about this, but I hope to one day have that opportunity where I can actually sit around with you guys
no, I don't know.
in
man.
a pool and just have a bunch of drinks and carefree and, the devil may care, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna get dangerous, 100%. Like someone's getting hurt, someone's passing out. It's gonna be a mess.
Someone's getting pregnant. It's not me.
There's going to be a lot of inappropriate pictures probably taken, but
Yeah, Luscious Lando will come out. I guarantee that.
Okay, hold on. Number 9, Marty. What do we have for number 9? Blah.
yeah. Are you sure it's number 9?
Yes.
Yeah,
number 9.
it's 9.
Okay, number 9. Yes. Once again, Mark Spears, Monster number 3. Mark Spears, cover A, Frankenstein, published by Keenspot Entertainment, January of 2025. So we're going back early this year, guys. At this point, Mark Spears needs no introduction. Since the launch of his Monster series, Spears books have been hitting the top 10 list every week. The artwork struck a chord with many collectors, as is evident by his consistently moving covers. The aftermarket moves tons of Spear books every week, and it looks like the top sellers this week was issue number 3. This cover A features Frankenstein monster, a classic horror character that would make a great cover to add to anyone's collection. We tracked 17 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 29%, with a high sale of $32 for a CGC 9.6 copy, and a current raw near mint fair market value of $6. So still very attainable.
It's holding at cover then, basically, right?
Yeah, pretty much, and CGC 9.6 is actually selling for less than what you would send it in for, get it graded for, or even pressed for, and encapsulated, and then sent back to you. Seriously, a 9.6, $32. Not bad. That's a steal, in my opinion.
Yeah, so this isn't one of those books where it's like, oh, it's selling for a crazy amount. There's just more of them moving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, because Mark Spears is,
it's a $6 cover.
Yeah, but people are moving it. People are trying to get his covers. He's got so many. It's so hard to keep up with his stuff. I mean, he's just banging it, and a lot of his older stuff are resurfacing too, especially a lot of his older Spawn covers that he would do. Yeah. So, a lot of these are, and so people are seeing the talent in him, and they're rushing out to get all his covers. And if you're a completist, then absolutely, me, if this was like 10 years ago, I would have been crazy about this, trying to get every cover. But I've wised up in the years, and and I try to get some of the nicer covers.
What do you think, Lando? This is interesting stats, right? Selling at cover, you can get a 9.6 for less than what it would cost to send it in. So what's the market telling you, Lando? Speak to us.
To me, it's kind of like, hey, somebody bought a 9.6 at $32, which is, like Marty said, pretty much less than actual submission plus book. So, like, I think what's impressive is that regardless, somebody bought a 9.6. People just love his covers. Like Marty was saying, no matter what cover drops, it seems like people are just automatically loving this. But for myself, guys, Mark Spears, I always say it, does so much better, in my opinion, when it comes to his originals. I love these covers. These covers are just amazing to look at. The homages are still good. Don't get me wrong. I saw a lot of people loving that New Mutants 98 that just dropped. But the 9.6 sale, I mean, for $32, and you just want a wall book, you want to display this, hey, that's pretty cool. It came in much cheaper than sending it and buying the book.
You just got a near mint for $6 and sent it in yourself just to get that extra bump in the grade. If you really cared about having the graded one anyway, like if it was me, I'm like,
about
okay.
The grade. At this point, I don't think it's about the grade. I think it's being able to have a copy of the book, I guess,
Even if you can get a copy for $6, so like why buy a 9.6 at 32 if you could buy a potential 9.8 at 6, send it in $30, $40, $10 more, you get a 9.8.
Yeah,
yeah, but why even buy a graded copy at that? I mean, if you're
But he's buying a graded copy anyway. Somebody bought the 9.6.
They bought the 9.6, but I'm sure they're just as happy with having the cover, whether they got it for dirt cheap. For if I see a raw book that's $6 and I see a 9.6 already CGC graded at a $32, I'm what the hell? I'll get the graded book.
Okay.
Yeah, 32 is dirt cheap, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a snob. When it comes to modern books, I want a 9.8.
I feel you, Laura. I feel you. But look, the way I see it is you have a 7-day trend on the book, regardless of 29% on the upside. So, like, this is clearly moving, but it is impressive to see a 9.6 selling at $32. $32 is, like I said, nothing expensive, but a decent pickup. Whoever picked this up, you did great because it came out to cheaper than if you bought the book and submitted it. Although you may have had better chances for a 9.8.
Now,
I agree.
Now, if they would have went for the Mad Hatter cover, which is a variant of number 3, now that's going for a pretty penny. Whether you do the trade or you do the Virgin variant, but that's a beautiful cover, and that's something I would definitely want to pick up.
That's what I'm saying. A 9.8 with just a regular cover A. I don't know. Well, it's fine. Buy what you want, guys, right? Number 9, Mark Spears, Monsters number 3, cover A, Frankenstein 9.6, $32, 7-day trend, 29%. Lando, what do we have for 8?
Number 8, we have this amazing cover. Yes, Storm issue 9, the Jeff DeCal 1 in 25 that just came out this month. Now, Storm was always a popular X-Men character. The debut of the hero shooter game Marvel Rivals took her to another level. The goddess became a solid character choice in the game, which also made her a highly collectible cover. When the Marvel Rivals variant covers were released, we all remember those, guys. Come on. Last week, she featured on yet another stellar cover illustrated by Jeff DeCal. This gorgeous 1 in 25 retailer incentive turned many heads. Another reason this book has been shaking up on the aftermarket is because it is also a key issue. We tracked 15 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 14% with a high sale of $56 for a near mint raw copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $49. And yes, it is a key book. It has the first appearance of Haddad, who is the first storm god. And guys, I maybe it's just because I'm a complete nerd and I'm happy to hang out with other nerds, but Storm's been a good read. Like it's enjoyable. The covers are great. There was an issue. I know people started to go bananas over the fact that you saw her pretty much, I think it was in lingerie or semi-naked or whatever it was. I forget which issue it was. It was from this run, but read it. I think DeCal did a phenomenal job on this. All black covers, we say this all the time. It's always scary, especially when you hit up your shop and you're like, hey, are you getting the 1 in 25? Yeah, if you want to order 8 copies and you can have the 1 in 25. That means they ain't getting another one, guys. So you got to hope it doesn't come with any color breaking spine ticks and any of that stuff. So I'm curious to see what the 9.8s are going to go for on this. But this is a cover if I picked up, I'd love for the DeCal to sign.
It is a really good read. And I think you're referring to issue 4. I think.
Yeah.
I remember everybody talking about this, and so I was like, "Oh, I want to look." So I had Anthony show me. And I'm like, "This is not worth the controversy." I think she's never been drawn better.
I think this Storm,
series,
she's hot as hell.
Right? Like sometimes I think it's not done right, but this is done so well. Somebody in the chat, Rudy, our wrench, shout out to Rudy. The champagne room variant that nails it. Like you're dancing for her right now, not the other way around.
Oh yeah. Well, she better be throwing dollar bills and not lightning bolts at me.
Dude, DeCal's stuff is just so edgy. He has such a distinctive style, and he's so damn nice. Yeah, so I'm all for it. Marty,
I'll be honest with you here. Full disclosure, I think I've fantasized about the scene in many of strip clubs I've been to in the past, and it really triggers me, and I don't want to say more than that.
I love that Marty considers last week the past.
I know, right?
No, thank you very much.
Oh man.
I say there's so much love here. There's just so much. No, but seriously, man, Decal absolutely nailed it as always. Beautiful cover. Very good comment as far as the Champagne Room cover. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. I mean, he did an amazing job. If you're going to picture Storm in any sort of way, in any sort of fashion, especially this almost has that Alex Ross effect in a more Decal way, if you will, because it's a very it's a very stoic that has that almost a generational look to it, if you will, and so that's what it kind of reminds me of, but in more of his fashion.
Yeah,
It's
Baker.
timeless.
By no means am I saying that she's never been better, like drawing wise, but I do think she is being drawn absolutely amazing. I agree with you. Silvestri did an amazing job. Classic, legendary. Jim Lee. I mean, it goes without saying, but
No, this recent one just hits different though. There's something unique, I would say.
yeah, absolutely. But again, Laura, you said it too. The read, guys. Like I think I saw somebody. I think it was Jeffrey in the chat saying how it's top 5 Marvel reads. Yeah, easily.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'll have to get on that, man. Amongst my 100 other things that I have in line to read, and watch as well.
Do it.
But I'll definitely take your word for it. Storm. So definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll make the Virgin Lando a 1 in 50 on issue 10?
I mean, no. It wouldn't surprise me if this goes to a second print and ends up being a ratio as a 1 in 100.
Virgin though, right? Take the form off of it. Yeah.
But given this is already the 1 in 25, I don't think they would do it. Like if it was a cover A and then second print, then yeah, I could see them doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, it's going
I
at
would
over
love
double
to see
ratio
this
right
in a
now,
Virgin.
so-
I would love
Me
to see this
too.
in a Virgin. Man, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Think about it. This is an all black cover. So you've got to be very delicate if you're trying to get this encapsulated, right?
Yeah.
Woo, man. So yeah, I would definitely like to see this in Virgin as well.
We don't have any graded copies yet, but for the fact that it's coming for a near mint at $56, I could see a 9.8 coming in around 150 once graded. We'll see. Maybe it'll show up on the list next week. But all right, number 8, store number 9, Jeff DeCall, 1 in 25, near mint at $56, 7-day trend of 14%. What do we have for number 7? Speaking of Marvel doing this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Bringing it back is Wolverine number 8 again. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson. Marvel April of 2025. Adamantine is back. While this issue may have fallen off the list for a bit, the sales on it are still quite strong. This is the first print issue that is still on collectors' radars. As the heat cools off, fans of Frank Miller-esque cover go to the aftermarket to pick it up while other books take interest away. This week, we tracked 21 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 21% with a high sale of $172 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $69. So it's still attainable. It's still a beautiful cover. You've got this the Wolverine number 8. Once again, it stands out. I love the red background in the back. It really brings out his hair.
It's still going for less though than the 1 in 25 second print. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if you can't get the 1 in 25, right? This is your next best bet, right?
What do you think, Lando?
I'm going to hit the rewind button on myself and say that this is the book that won't go away. Guys, the love for this cover is just amazing to see. Laura, I agree with you. Yes, the 1 in 25. We saw a high sale this week for $160. So this one being just a regular cover at $172, you got more bang for your buck out of this one, guys, if you picked it up. That's the way I see it. But nonetheless,
That's true. Yeah.
a cover that absolutely everybody loves, including myself, and it's still dominating. We are talking about this now, well over a month after its release. It ain't going anywhere, guys. We're still here holding the number 7 spot with Wolverine 8. So
it's very
All right,
interesting because you look at the other variants to it, and they've got some nice ones. Yeah, they've got some okay cover ones. The other variants, but this definitely is the one that stands out the most for me. It's definitely with that red background to it.
Marty, I don't care what anybody's taste is when it comes to comics. Art is subjective, so whatever you guys enjoy, man, as long as you're enjoying, that's all that matters to me. But when it comes to this cover, I think with the aftermarket reaction that we're seeing here, the sales and everything, I think it goes down as probably so far one of the best covers of 2025. It's dominated. It's doing its thing on the aftermarket, and it is a stunning cover. So I put it up there. It's a contender, guys. Let's put this as a contender and see what the rest of the year brings us.
I just
agree
want to
with
say
you,
thank
Jared.
you, Lando, for validating me, and I do appreciate you.
Absolutely, always.
Way to
Take me to that strip joint, Marty.
Oh my God. Okay, number 7, Wolverine number 8, Darren Warren Johnson variant 9.8, 172, 7-day trend, 21%. What do we have for 6, Lando?
We're going there, guys. This is it. This is the big moment. Marvel Knight, the world to come, number 1. But this one being the Simone Di Maio. Is it Di Maio? Di Maio, right? Di Maio variant. The one in 25. It just came out.
Meow.
But I'm not going to go into the big talk about this book entirely just yet, guys. Hang tight, because we will talk about it again. But if you didn't read the first and second entry in our top 10 lists over on the Cover Price website, hold on to your underwears, guys. This book is making waves all over the aftermarket because of its surprise reveal. T'Challa's son is white. This revelation, this revelation made tons of headlines, both with social media influencers like Laura and bigger news channels. So I know people were trying to pronounce his name, guys, and people are saying Katema, but in the book, they're actually telling us how to pronounce it, and it's Katama. So Katama, okay?
Katama.
Putting that out there. Katama. Son of T'Challa spurred controversy, which is a massive catalyst to increasing a book's demand and value. Everyone wants a piece of the book that is being talked about, and they prefer to hunt down the 1 in 25 retailer incentive cover. We tracked 24 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 33% with a high sale of $110 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $22. So yeah, people are already getting those guaranteed 9.8 copies off of the Bay because, I mean, the book just came out. I don't think anybody's got this graded in hand yet, but the controversy, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I saw lots of chatter about this, which we'll dive into as we move on through the list. But one thing's for sure, guys. Everybody was talking about this. Curious to know if you guys think
everywhere. It was all over social media. I told you, I think Priest knows what he's doing. I'm just going to trust the process.
Absolutely. But we'll dive in. Don't worry. There's tons of time to dive into that, guys. We're only 28 minutes in. Oh, baby.
Yeah, right. You know, this is on my read list. I haven't had an opportunity to, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. To speak on the cover, this is so calming, right? I mean, you have nature at its best right there, and then you have that night sort of calming effect to the background. He did such an amazing job to this. I mean, really beautiful, really well done. I'm such a huge fan. This is definitely was something that I'd love to have a copy of in my collection.
Dude, I saw it in front of me. The 1 in 25, the shop was selling it at $35, and I hesitated. I'll be honest with you, I hesitated.
Go. Do me a favor, Orlando. Go back and get that for me, would you?
It's that shit's long gone.
I didn't ask you that. I just said go back and get it for me. Would you?
Yeah, that's fair. I'll try to rewind that too, bro. But
well, thank you.
But it looks amazing in person. Like, I know we're seeing this in digital form right now on a slide, but man, in person, this is a very beautiful cover.
It is gorgeous. It absolutely is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people did pass on this initially when they saw it in stores, and they're going to come to regret that because I think the story here is going to get interesting. It's going to get intriguing.
Yep. We'll dive in. Don't worry.
We will. Yeah. Number 6, Marvel Knights, The World to Come, number 1. Simone Di Maio variant, 1 in 25, 9.8, $110, 7-day trend of 33%. What do we have for number 5, Marty?
Yeah, and just to comment on, because I like reading the chat. I like, I definitely like to say thank you to the chat out there for joining us. Your guys' comment are amazing. I love, as you guys are, as we're going through the show, you guys are chatting in the group and everything, and You guys are hilarious. But just to comment on Timothy Brent, no, I have. I tell you what, man, I got to admit, some of the best night sleeps I ever got was when I was out in the field, man. For some reason, and some of the best dreams I've had were always out in the field.
What are you dreaming of in the field, bro?
Yeah,
know,
dude,
right? What is
it's just it's wonderful, man. It's just being. I don't know. It's just maybe it's just the fact of being out in nature and sleeping so good when you're outside. You know what? I don't think I even need a house. Why do I even have a house?
It's
Maybe I just
grounding,
camp out from
right?
now on. Yeah, it's absolutely grounding. Yeah.
Be honest, did it include this dream? Salma Hayek, Marissa Tomei? Like, what was going on?
Man, are we on the same wavelength here?
Always.
Man, because I'm like this with you, brother.
My man.
So bringing in number 5, we've got Giant Size X-Men #1, Gil Kane, custom Hasbro GameStop reissue foil, published by Marvel, June of 2025. There's nothing like a foil reprint to bring back the 90s collecting nostalgia. This issue was a promo item that GameStop was giving away with the purchase of 2 Marvel Legends figures. Hunting them down was tricky. It was reported that many GameStops weren't carrying the book. Reports from collectors were also extremely varied. A quick browse through Reddit and other social media channels show that not every fan had to jump through the same hoops for the book. Some stores were giving them away for free. Others were sold out instantly, and there were some that didn't even know about the promotion. Whether you're a fan of reprints or not, the real-life hunt for this book was probably half the fun. For others, they are comfortable buying on the aftermarket as books grow in popularity. We tracked 9 copies sold at a 7-day trend of 100%, with a high sale of $65 for a near-mint raw copy and a current raw near-mint fair market value of $58. Okay, wow. So just a rarity, I guess, for the custom Hasbro GameStop foil reissue. You know,
Or I feel like this book has already come out in foil, didn't it? Or am I insane?
Book has a foil now.
I know, but I feel like a couple years back they did a foil version of this book already. So I don't. Maybe it was the next one.
Could be.
Yeah.
They've done so many different things with this cover. You know, even homages as well. But I wouldn't be surprised, Laura, if they did. I mean, definitely there was a 2023 New York City Comic Con big time collectible foil facsimile. So that might have been a foil you're talking about.
Different. Like, is there a way to differentiate the two? Like, does this have like a GameStop logo on it or something?
Yeah, I imagine in the back it's got to have that. But guys, funny story, man. You're right, Marty. A lot of people didn't know about this, including myself. And I showed up at GameStop to buy the Nintendo Switch 2, which I got it, like the big dumbass that I am. And what I did was I got to the cash and I saw that they had this at the counter. And I look at the guy and I'm like, yo, how much for that? Like, I don't like foils, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like foils, but I saw it's a GameStop exclusive. So I'm like, sure. How much is this? So the guy looks at me, he's like, oh, you just have to buy a Marvel Legends figure. So I'm looking around and I see these figures at like $40. So I was like,
no.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass. And then I saw there was Marvel Legends on sale. And I look at the one that was like $9.99. I'm like, so does that count? He looks at me, he's like, no. I'm like, oh, damn. So I left it. So otherwise, I would have done it, man. But I didn't feel like buying the Marvel Legends. That's the way GameStop was handling near my house. So
it's really not $56 raw. It's $95 because you have to have a purchase too.
Well, no. So basically, raw, they include this with your purchase of the toy. So if you buy yourself a Marvel Legends, you get the book for free.
Oh, well, then the math still works out then, Lando.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like now that I'm seeing raw near mints going for 65, I might go back tomorrow and be like, hey, man, I love Marvel Legends. Yeah, let's go buy this one.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, but
Sure.
But it is cool. It is cool. I know that people are talking about the 50th anniversary of this, and I love that this is a GameStop exclusive. Like, who would have thought GameStop would be dropping this? So I love this. I think it's cool.
Is it spot foil? Anybody know? Roops is asking.
No, it was the whole thing. When I saw it, it was the whole cover that was foil.
It was the whole cover?
Unless it was the light that was beaming on it, because I really saw a full foil.
I I hope to one day have that. Yeah, I don't own this yet, the original. So
Yeah,
One
well,
day, right?
yeah,
one day. One
I
day.
would.
All right,
I'd
we are
love to have that.
halfway there, folks, and we are so far behind, but that's because we're having a good time, right? But number
Always.
5, Giant Size X-Men number 1, the custom Hasbro GameStop foil reissue with a near mint coming in at $65. Make sure, since we are halfway there, that you sub the channel. Right after this, I have the runners-up list over on Near Nirvana with a special little guest over there. And yeah, make sure you guys are tuning in because Lando's here on Thursdays. And he has his show too, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Good
is
time.
fun.
Blame it
It
on
is fun.
me,
And you have to know, Lando, we cannot have fun in the show anymore. Just so you know that, okay? Because
Yeah.
Laura
Screw
said
that.
so.
We're having
You
as
know,
much fun as we want.
Tighten
We
it up,
can
guys.
no longer have
Tighten it
fun in
up.
this show.
We
No.
are 40 minutes in and we're only halfway. Okay. What do we have for number 4?
Right?
So at number 4, we have Jack Joe, a real American hero.
Better.
Speed it up.
Is that good for you, Laura? But no, at number
Double
4,
time.
we've got G.I. Joe, a real American hero 316, the Francis Portella camouflage 1 in 10 by Image that just came out. Now, everyone loves a good negative space variant. The art style has picked up speed in the past few years. It attracts even more collectors when the character is such a prominent one like Scarlett. One of the original team members, Scarlett, debuted back in 1982 and is a fan favorite. This cover became a top variant to chase almost immediately after it was released. The 1 in 10 retailer incentive picked up speed and value on the aftermarket. We tracked 29 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 11% with a high sale of $100 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $36. Now, this is just a wicked cover. They've been doing this for almost the last couple of issues. I loved it. I love all these 1 in 10s. I think Portella's doing an amazing job. I know people have their opinions about these, camouflage ones, whether it be John Tyler Christopher, whether it be Nakayama, Portella. I just think Portella's doing a great job with these ratios. I've picked up a few of them along the way. I actually didn't get a chance to pick up this one, but guys, they've been trending almost weekly, no matter which one has come out, and
It's much better than the letter ones. I would take this over the letters.
yeah, well, for sure. I do think the letters one lined up together is pretty cool, but
Yeah. This is cool though. I like the color, and the yellow is such an interesting shade, and I think it hits. So,
agreed.
yeah.
Portello knocked it out of the park with this. I love the use of negative space, and it is a all yellow background. So once again, we see if you're going to get this, especially at 9.8 for $100, I could see why. Such a sexy cover, such a sexy look on the character. Very, just very well done. So I'm not, I'd love to have this if I could, but I'm not a huge G.I. Joe fan. Go figure, right? But yeah, it's just a gorgeous cover.
Yeah, you would think you would be, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think this will simmer down a little bit. Maybe just keep your eye on it over the next few months. Maybe you'll get a chance to kind of snag it closer to like double ratio versus this almost quadruple.
Here, I'm bringing receipts, Laura. See, look.
Wait, hold on.
Do they not look awesome?
They do.
Yeah.
So good. Love Portella's work. That was it.
I like it too. I'm on board.
Flex. That was my flex.
Flex.
Number 4, G.I. Joe, a real American hero, 317. Francis Portella. I agree with, I think it was Timothy. Let's just call it a negative space variant. 1 in 10, 9.8, $100. What do we have for number 3, Marty?
Bring it in. Number 3 is Daredevil Volume 1, number 150, Marvel, January of 1978. And I remember, just like TiVo, I'm really big into like these, issues of 50, 100, 150, 200. I really love collecting those ones as well. But of course, like number 1s too. VisionQuest rumors are firing up. Ultron was once rumored, now confirmed. Jocasta's first appearance was trending a few weeks ago. This week, fans believe to have an answer to who Todd Stashwick will be playing. His original casting reported that he would be an assassin, hunting down Vision throughout the series. It looks like more information on the casting was leaked, revealing the role to be Paladin. This still has a rumor, with not much more evidence to stand out besides hearsay. Still, a rumor is enough to get a book trending, and this first appearance of Paladin is enjoying their renewed interest. We tracked 13 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 68%, with a high sale of $90 for a CGC 9.0 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $12. Wow. So little rumors going on, so brings this book up, but nevertheless, when I Daredevil, come on. I mean, good things are happening with this character. Good things we see on live action as well. Daredevil is definitely getting the recognition that he deserves. Introducing the character Paladin. I'd love to see where this goes. I don't know much about that, but so whatever I see, I guess coming up on live action will be my first introduction to that. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see this popping because I mean, absolutely nobody really cared for or cares for Paladin. Let's be honest. I do agree with Alex in the chat that he's saying that obviously Frank Miller's run is the best on Daredevil, but I love Jim Shooter's stuff too as well, man. So I'm definitely not gonna knock on it, but I will say that Frank Miller definitely had some of the best stories when it came to Daredevil.
Yeah.
But Paladin, man, like, I mean, the only really like things that I really cared for with Paladin was like example Thunderbolts related stuff when we got the Dark Reign Siege stuff. We had like very little stuff when it came for Villains for Hire, but other than that, it was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I never really cared for Paladin. So it is interesting to see, guys, how just even the slightest rumors can take a book as such and bring this to the number 3 spot on the top 10 this week. And I love it. People say that spec is dead. Spec is dead. Comics are dead. I could go on forever.
Yeah.
I could go
but
on. But
Lando, let me tell you, regardless of speculation, regardless of it being like a very mediocre character or anything like that, it brings recognition to a character. It brings recognition to the book. It brings recognition to the genre of the industry, which is a good thing too. Amen. And so I look at it on both sides of the coin. When it comes to that, I mean, Paladin, of course, he's a very, mediocre character. Nothing's really going to come out. This is not going to be like a huge grail eventually just because he shows up on a Daredevil show, right?
No.
It's not going to be a huge thing. And eventually this will go down. So you're going to see, not much more than a $90 book coming in. If you look at grading, sending it in and all that stuff, 9.8 for $90. I think it's a fair price.
Yeah,
for the character. But I love that fact though. I love the fact that it regardless that these characters are not going anywhere. Like I said earlier, the fact that it's recognition to a character, it's recognition to Daredevil. It'd be cool to see how the character interacts. What, Laura? What?
I like when you get on these rants. I just want everybody to see how like passionate you are. Like you're like you can feel it through the camera.
Yeah, and I get that. I apologize if I get a little bit
it's a good thing. I like that
long-winded. Okay, no. But okay,
we're not allowed to have fun, Marty.
What did I tell you guys?
Yeah, no having fun, Lando. No fun.
No fun.
No fun on Laura's shows, only on Lando's shows. Number 3, Daredevil 150, CGC 9.8, $90. There are 90 of you hanging with us, so thank you guys for spending your Tuesday night here with us. 7-day trend, 68%. We only have a couple left here, and then we'll move on to the runners-up list after this, so don't go anywhere. What do we have for number 2?
Oh, baby. Should
this
we
is
do
the one you were waiting for, right?
Yeah, should we do the scream like in Avengers?
Is there a theme song to this yet? I mean, anytime this comes in, do we need to have like a certain theme that comes in? Like when Darth Vader comes in, he has the Imperial Death March. Dun, dun, dun,
Marty, let's just do the scream like they do in Avengers. The Yibame!
Yeah.
You guys are forever. Yeah.
But anyways, guys, Marvel Knights, The World to Come, #1, the Joe Quesada regular cover that just came out last week. Now, it is pretty crazy to think that a 1 per store variant has sold twice as much as cover A, while this cover has only moved 97 copies since its debut. It's still outpaced the rest of the books on this list. Some fans think this reveal was a Marvel gimmick to draw eyes onto their books during a time where comic sales tend to slow down, guys, in the summer. Other fans believe that this is a new chapter for Marvel and the direction they wish to go with Wakanda. Wherever you stand, one thing is clear. This book is dominating the aftermarket. We tracked a 7-day growth trend of 277% with a high sale of $100 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $34. All right, I'm going to do a bit of the dive here.
Let's do it.
A few things I want to talk about. We just mentioned how this may have been a gimmick to get eyes on it. If that's the case, it more than worked, guys. This was all over mainstream media. We're talking big, media outlets. Everybody was talking about this. Was there a bit of an uproar? Yes, but we still don't know the entire story of what took place here. I know people are like, oh my God, he's white. My first question is, who the hell has he been sleeping with? I want to know what happened here because that just threw me completely off. But besides that, the story itself was absolutely amazing. Guys, I want to just point some serious facts here. One, this was a good read. You had Imperial come out last week, which is a great read. And you also had Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. 3 amazing home runs by Marvel just last week. Anybody who says comics are dead, I want you to look at this list. Tell me new comics are dead because out of the books we've spoken about, spoiler alert, guys, 9 out of 10 are brand new comics that just dropped. Whether it be for the read, whether it be for the cover, everybody is enjoying the new books that are coming out and the trends keep happening all year round. We've been doing this every single week, talking about new books. Shout out to Cover Price. Shout out to Lifteros. Anybody who's out there on social media saying that comics are dead, send them this way and remind them that it's a foolish thing to say, guys, because the proof is in the pudding.
Okay, so how did you feel about the timeline with this book? Did you find that confusing? Because I got mixed reactions from people on this one. Like, it was like, oh, I don't like that they're jumping back and forth.
I'm okay with it. What I want to know is this like 616? Is this something completely from a different universe? I feel like that didn't entirely get answered. So like, I know Marvel Knight tends to be its own thing. So I'm just taking it as that right now. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I know this is set in the future, but is it in the future of 616? I feel like maybe there was a little bit of unclarity, or maybe I just misunderstood. But regardless, it was a very good read. Like I said, we got 3 amazing reads just last week. And this one was one of my favorites amongst all 3 of them. And where is this going? Nobody knows. But clearly, it got a lot of attention. Great for the hobby. I'm happy, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. People are upset. People are loving this. I don't care, guys, about all these race changes and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. Give me a good story. That's all I care about.
I don't know. They changed Snape in the new Harry Potter, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but that's a different show.
But on the other side, I can see how difficult for some people to really accept, that, as part of the read and a part of the universe, because it doesn't align with the storyline very much. So I don't know.
We're gonna recast Lando as a white female.
I'm in. Let's do it. I'll be Zelda for.
Let's do it, Lando.
The movie.
I think this has potential. Was I blown away with it? No, and I might be the minority here. I think it's off to a little bit of a weak start, and I do like pre-stuff. All the guys were talking about it on this thread I was on, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm the only one that's going to say this. It was okay. It didn't blow me away. I'm curious to see where this goes. I do think there's potential, but I think that the writing was a little bit wonky for a priest, and we'll see. I'm not going to judge it yet because I do think that these type of stories have, I don't know, they have the juice behind them. I do think it's a little bit gimmicky when people like purposely change somebody that you identify as one thing, and it does get that reaction, which had to have been planned. So I'm kind of trusting that Priest knows what he's doing, right?
Let the man cook. Let the man cook.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it alone, and we'll see what happens in the next few issues. So.
There you go.
Yeah, interesting. I'm looking forward for that read. Like I said, that's on my list. So see how it goes.
I would recommend just give it a shot, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and guys,
go ahead.
Priest wrote Black Panther before, so I'm just putting that out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has to know what he's doing here. He's not like a novel when it comes to this. So,
Yeah,
Right.
but I like this Canadian White Panther. That's your new nickname, Melando.
Oh,
Luscious
Canadian White
Canadian White
Panther.
Panther.
We have hashtag Canadian White Panther, hashtag Luscious Lando, hashtag.
Marty. This is great. I'm gonna get so many nicknames. Okay, anyway, Marvel Knights World to Come #1, Joe Quesada regular, $9.8, $100, 7-day trend, $277. A little bit of differing opinions on the panel here today, but overall, we think you guys should all read it. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, hey, Brett. Welcome in.
Hey, Brett.
Last but not least, what do we have for #1?
Yeah, #1 is Marvel Knights The World to Come #1, Joe Quesada, Surprise Black and White, Marvel, June of 2025. We live in interesting times when the world of comics can shake things up with an out-of-the-blue character reveal. To get straight to the point, this issue of Marvel Knights reveals to fans that T'Challa had a son, Ketama. Did I say that right? Ketama? Katama, and that her son was revealed to be white. You can imagine how internet was turned on the head, spurring conversations about race swapping, Marvel writing quality, and Ryan Gosling. The latter refers to a sudden support for Ryan Gosling to play Ketama in Black Panther #3. Much like The Watcher, we watched the pot be stirred. This reveal not only created an uproar on social media, but the story was picked up by tons of official news outlets. This is the comic news of the summer, and we know what this means for collector value. This is especially true for one per store surprise variants, which has taken the aftermarket by storm. We track 181 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 155%, with a high sale of $150 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $80. So you're going to see this, I think, as this book, continues to get traction and heat. Anything as far as a variant or anything related to it is going to be something that's going to be well sought after and wanted to be acquired. So we're just going to see value go up in this, and if we see more headway to the storyline, and I think this will also be something that we see more. We saw it in the All In saga as well, and the All In, which was a #1, I guess, the first appearances of the absolute characters in DC. And I guess this is, if you look at it, almost a parallel to what we see with the All In and the Absolute Universe to Marvel Knights, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, it is interesting to see this one selling this quickly. What do you think, Lando? Just the rarity?
I think the scarcity plays a huge factor here. This is the surprise variant. Everybody was freaking out over the appearance as a whole, right? So I think once people saw that this dried up, then immediately the regular cover A started to move. You see the 1 in 25 doing a little bit of damage, as we spoke about here on the top 10 tonight. But the cover A is definitely the one to get. Yes, Timothy, it's spelled Katema in the book, but there's literally a panel where they give you the actual pronunciation, which they specify is Katama. So Katama. But it's again, I thought it was a great read. I didn't have any issues with it. I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going to go. I know this gives people even some Tosin vibes. You guys remember when that book spiked, right? Then it was also the Black Panther. Oh my
gosh, yes, that went crazy.
Yeah,
I remember.
And you guys, I don't even think I was on the panel yet at that point, but that was on the list for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it did not stop. But now we're seeing this. We just finished talking about the actual read, and I gotta say, on my end, I enjoyed it. I have no doubt Priest is gonna bring us a great story all around. So I'm all for it. But
Timothy goes, tell me more, Great White Northern Panther.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to you, but he
I
has
love that. I absolutely love that. I think Timothy's my new
more.
best bantering partner here. You know, my
Sorry. That's
we
funny.
yeah, I ain't protecting the world from or harvesting vibranium. It's just maple syrup. That's all I got for you guys.
you say all you got is maple syrup. Is that
Yeah, we don't got vibranium here, man. All we've got is maple syrup.
maple syrup?
Yeah.
Great white northern panther.
Killing me.
He hit you with
Oh
all
my
of it.
God, man.
Boom. Good stuff. Anything to add, Marty?
Well, I think he said a mouthful with maple syrup on that one.
Are we ending
And
the
I'm
show on
good.
maple syrup? Is that what we're doing?
Oh my God, man, that's so awesome, man. But nothing on the book. No, I'm good. I have nothing.
It's just funny. I don't think we can talk anymore after that. So number 1, Marvel Knights, The World to Come. Number 1, Joe Quesada surprise black and white variant, a 9.8 coming in at $155 or $150, and a 7-day trend of 155%. I love that the guys in our chat are willing to come in here and just bust balls. It's fantastic.
Specifically
these
my
guys.
balls.
Yours,
Well,
that makes it even better.
I love it. Keep it coming, guys. That's what I show up for, man. I show up for all this fun time that we have. So it's always a great time. Yeah.
Well, what kind of Lord show would it be if you didn't have bantering back and forth? I mean, if the one thing that TiVo loved was he loved bantering back and forth, and there'd be many times that he would call me things like shit lips on his show, and I'd return it with like
all the time.
yeah, and so he would do things like that, and I'd always banter back with him with something like sperm burp or something within that nature, and then would have fun with it,
I've never heard that before, Marty, but okay. On that lovely note, right after this, you guys are going to be redirected over to Nearing Nirvana. I'm going to be covering the runners up, and I expect you two to pop in and say hello.
Always.
From 20 to 12, if you didn't do all right on this list, maybe you'll do better on the next one. But before we go, Lando, we're going to start with you. You not only host the Shakers on Thursdays, but you also have your own YouTube channel, Black Crown Comics. If you guys are not subscribed, you are missing out on some great content throughout the week. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, what are you doing with your life?
That's it. That's what I do with my life. I bring you guys the Shakers on Thursdays. And of course, I've got my show every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely subscribe. Go check out Black Crown Comics, as you see it spelt at the bottom where my name is normally there.
Right
And,
there.
there you go. There it is. There it is. But yeah, come hang out, man. Hit the subscribe button. We're getting close to episode 100. And episode 100 is going to be a huge giveaway show, giving away 1 in 100s, Comic Legions contributing, multiple places, multiple people contributing.
Do Marty and I get to go to that?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, it's a big hangout show. So there's no special guest. Every week it's a rotating guest, but that's a hangout show. We're just going to hang out, shoot the you-know-what, and give stuff away to everybody who's been a subscriber and supporting, showing some love. But besides that, yeah, I want Anthony there, 100%.
No, he wants to
absolutely.
donate.
Wow,
He wants to
that's
donate
awesome.
stuff.
Oh, sure. If you'd love to, that would be great.
Oh.
If you want to hang out, I'd appreciate that a lot more, to be honest. So,
Oh,
yeah,
he loves you.
yeah, man.
That's
So
awesome, man.
yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Panther Comics.
I had Canadian White Panther Comics now. Yeah, I'll change my name for next week. But yeah, man. So come check out Thursday. We're gonna bring you guys the Shakers. Always looking at those books that are shaking on the aftermarket. Marty, myself, the whole crew. Dr. Yo-Yo is gonna be there. Maybe Gabe will make an appearance. Whoever wants to hop on, man. Of course, it's always open to the crew. And yeah, it's always a great time hanging out with you guys. The chat. You can't bust my chops. My chops are made of maple syrup. That's right. They're entombed. So we're good. We're good, guys. I appreciate you guys. Much love.
Much love. And
Much
Marty,
love.
last but not least, my main
Oh
man,
my
Marty.
God. How do I follow that? I just
can't.
absolutely can't. But the only thing I really can say is that guys out in the chat, you guys make the show what it is. You guys really the interactive experience that we have with you guys is absolutely speaks volumes of the fun, the bantering, and the camaraderie that we have here on the show. And I really appreciate it. This is what I keep coming back to the show for. It's not the reading, it's the hanging out with panel members like Lando, Laura, Gabe, Chris, Dr. Yo-Yo, Otto from 3 Men in the Basement, who else? We've got guys like Nemesis Prime that's on Instagram. You know, they do an amazing job when they come on here too. We got a lot of the old guy OGs, as we say, that come on. So it's fun. I really enjoy doing this stuff, and I thank you guys for allowing me this opportunity. I'm very grateful for it, and I keep coming back. I'm like a really bad case of herpes. I just keep coming back to the show, and you can't get rid of me. You know, and so here I am. And may the comic gods and the spirit of our friend TiVo continue to bless your long boxes and fill them with golden, silver, copper, bronze, modern age comics for eternity. Excelsior.
Excelsior. Guys, tune in right after this for the runners up.
Per Burflinger.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.